Hey guys, hope you're having a good night. I'm gonna do a check-in with the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine. I just got like this pulling to do this reading specifically for whatever reason. So I'm guessing there's some information or messages that we need for that. But they very specifically like asked me to do for the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine check-in. So we're gonna do Feminine first. All right, the Divine Feminine first. Her cards just flew out. Shadow, Sacrifice, Solar Plexus Chakra, which also came out yesterday. Okay, so these are the cards, which are all major arcanas, which are major life events or, you know, like bigger situations. Things are like imperative or prominent, stuff like that. But okay. So for the Divine Feminine, what I'm getting is a lot of them are facing their shadows. I feel like we've kind of gotten this message a lot in the last few readings. It feels like she's really facing all these deeper energies. She feels like, hi Sage, she feels like she does a lot of the deeper emotions and deeper feelings and helps to release them for herself, and for some feminines do it collectively. It just depends on, you know, your own gift and what you work with. But you might also be helping other people see their shadows. I do, shit, good. Hold on, come here, be good. I do get a lot of the feminines. Let me fucking move this thing. Oh, she's not an asshole. Say hi. Be good. Say hi. I love listening to her prayer. I do get a lot of the feminines are triggering like feminine wounds in people. So as she's kind of standing in her power with situations, or she's opening up, and they're saying the word blossoming, like as she's opening up and blossoming, it's triggering a lot of like feminine shadows to be dealt with, a lot of emotions and feelings that weren't dealt with, to help with healing and releasing. It feels like there's still some cracks with her not feeling totally confident in herself and confident in something. So there might be areas where she's not feeling confident in like her gifts, her intuition. She might not be trusting in herself. She might not be confident in like her looks or things. But this confidence more so feels like an internal thing. And it feels like there's some repressed shadows coming up. So the energy I kind of get is related to relationships, and kind of insecurities and fears and things like that in relationships, where it made her feel like she wasn't good enough, or made her feel very invalidated, or where she's kind of like hearing the words. It almost feels like things that have happened to her, words that have been said, or things that have been done. She's like replaying them in present energy now, to help her with healing stuff from the past and being able to see it different. But it feels like a releasing and letting go. But the energy definitely feels very emotional and heavy too. So, all right, let's do with the masculines. I saw the one card coming out, but it didn't come out. We'll see if it pops out though. With the masculine, we got the 3-5-4. Heartache and loss. I definitely heard the word grieving with this. Throat chakra, firm foundation. Immediately with the heartache and loss, I got grieving. Just grieving. Holy shit, I just got so dizzy again. The energy is so fucking intense today. Grieving. I get this grieving of who he used to be. Like he is kind of seeing where he was making choices that it feels like he's starting to see like his values and his true heart desire, and not really so much the conditioning, the way he was raised, or the way like society kind of like perpetuates on the masculine, and kind of seeing these areas where he kind of just made choices that really didn't align with what he wanted. And it feels like a bunch of different stuff, like he chose relationships that were more materialistic or superficial based rather than like heart-centered emotional relationships. It feels like even career-wise, he maybe did things that related to like his family or his parents or things like that, rather than pursuing like his passions and dreams and desires. And it just feels like kind of this loss of like things that they wanted or they desired but really didn't actually choose. Like they realized like they kind of made the choices that they made and they're where they're at because of the choices they made. So it feels like they're grieving that, but it also feels like they're grieving this old version of themselves and a lot of inner child energy where they're able to kind of see some of their emotions, or they're going to be seeing some of their emotions, and as they relate to like childhood teenage wounds where they weren't really nurtured, they weren't really loved, they weren't really empathized with. It feels like some of them maybe had like a mother or a feminine figure, could have been a father too, but I definitely get a lot more like feminine energy where if they were emotional or they felt sad, it was like toughen up, be a man, like that bullshit. And so as these things come up and they're grieving this old version, it feels like they're communicating more. It feels like they're slowly communicating more, but it feels like they're trying to open up and communicate more. They're just trying to figure out if it's safe or not to do is what it feels like. But it's like they're, even with themselves, it feels like they're dealing with a lot of repressed emotions and they're kind of trying to talk to themselves. And some of them, it feels like they're trying to talk themselves out of certain feelings, and spirits, like they said, talk themselves out of it. And then like, they just kind of were like, yeah. But it also feels like some of them are becoming more empowered and wanting to communicate their truth more. It just doesn't, it feels like they don't feel totally ready for it. I feel like that might have come out in the love reading last night. I can't remember, but I swear it sounds and feels similar. With this firm foundation, it feels like they're working really hard on this. Like they're working really hard on pursuing their like foundation. It's like they're realizing where they weren't being stable, they weren't being consistent, where they weren't kind of doing things they know they needed to, where they just kind of were being really stagnant or lazy or just not really living in their truth. And it feels like they're kind of coming more into their purpose and their drive and motivation, and they're trying to really like rectify old situations and heal stuff from the past and like make different choices. And it feels like they're trying to really like go on this path and stay on this path like they've tried before, and they've kind of, you know, temptation has kind of come in and pulled them away. Well, they allowed themselves to get pulled away, because it doesn't just pull you away, but that, and it feels like they really like know what they need to do, and they're like getting the steps along the way, and they're like really trying to move. It's like they know what they need to do, like end goal or certain things that they need to really change and fix. Is this, if upside down, is this feminine or masculine? Feminine. Abundance. I dig it. Past lives. Mirrored energy again. Last time I pulled from these cards, it was the same type of cards. This is for the feminine. And guilt. Oof. That just came up for me a little while ago. Okay. Abundance, past lives, guilt. There's a bunch of, I just get chaos energy and a bunch of different energy with this. So this, again, I'm getting like mirroring, a lot of mirroring, which I'm pretty sure these cards, this card definitely came out yesterday, but, right? No, it wasn't this card, I lied. Maybe, I don't remember. I don't think so. Never mind. But like they're mirroring, and they're saying the words mirroring to me. For the feminine, it feels like she's trying to work toward some type of wish fulfillment or abundance, some type of goal, some type of passion. And it just feels like this very stuck energy. It feels like these cycles just keep repeating, like nothing's actually moving forward. It's these cycles are repeating, and it feels like a lot of like negative thoughts are coming in. A lot of old like worries and fears are kind of coming back. Things where she thought she like worked through them. They're kind of coming back in, and it feels like they're taking over at times, and they're really like clouding her judgment. It feels like she's not getting a lot of clarity, and her mind's really clouded on stuff. This kind of relates to the first part of the message, because it feels like she's clearing shadows, but she doesn't necessarily see that. I'll throw it for you. She doesn't necessarily see that's what she's doing. Here. She doesn't necessarily see she's doing that. Like, she might have some sense, but then it's almost like all this overwhelming, like thoughts or feelings or emotions kind of hit her, and she just feels like she's repeating stuck cycles, and then like the thoughts and fears just kind of like consume her and stuff. It just feels very like heavy, but it's like she's moving through it because she's like working toward like a goal or toward abundance or toward something. Like something like stuck on my lashes, driving me mental. Okay, let's pull for the masculines. Feminine's cards came out like super quick. What are the masculines? What do we need to know for the masculines? So the Lovers card. We got understanding. No. The Rebel card popped out, but it didn't like fully, I just saw it again. Didn't fully come out. Let's see what card flew out. The Rebel. All right, I should have known because it popped out and I saw it again and it popped out again. I should have known it was going to come out. Sometimes, there we go. Okay, interesting, because the Past Lives and Guild card came out with the Moment to Moment card for the masculines. So the Understanding and Rebel card, interesting that you got birds in both of those. Past Lives, Guilt, and Moment to Moment. They want me to do that afterward. The Past Lives, the Guilt, and Moment to Moment. So this feels like family conditioning. Feels totally different than the feminine. I channel card energy, not like the words and the, you know, whatever. I don't even know what they mean in the book. I don't read the book. Like, I just channel into it. That's why even if it's the same cards, it's a different message sometimes, because I actually channel into it and they guide me what to say and, you know, whatever. So, it feels like the masculine is working through family conditioning and societal conditioning. This kind of feels like what I just pulled with the other cards, and he's kind of reflecting and seeing how a lot of the choices he made or places where he dulled his light and really didn't stand in his power relates to conditioning and belief systems he's learned as a kid. It feels like they have a lot of, I'm just hearing like repressed emotions and emotional baggage that they're dealing with. And it's like they want like a new beginning and they want to get out of these cycles. It feels like they've just felt like really weighed down for a long period of time. But Spirit's like, this is advice for you, one step at a time. Just take one step at a time. Every time you're making a choice and you're stepping in the right direction, it's actually helping heal energetic cords and stuff to the past. And you'll get one step forward, and like one action forward is going to bring you to the end result way sooner than you realize. Like, you don't have to do all these leaps and bounds and these crazy things. Like, you just need to take like one step at a time, and eventually like it just becomes easier and easier and easier. And they're saying it's the same thing like when you start any routine. At first, you know, there's some resistance, it's uncomfortable and all of that, but like as you do it, it's like driving. It becomes so natural that like, do you even know which pedals, like the gas and brake? You just naturally do it. That's kind of what's going to happen with this. With the Understanding and Rebel cards, so it feels like this wanting, it feels like they are wanting to have a conversation with somebody, and they're wanting them to, I'm hearing the words clarity. They want to give them clarity. Like, they realize that maybe the way they've communicated or the way they've said things has been misrepresented to how they actually feel. But it's just like there's still this hesitation energy I keep getting. So they're not communicating it for whatever reason. Divine timing, I'm hearing though. So there's something with divine timing, probably the masculine wanting to talk and the person they're wanting to talk to hearing the message. There's something with that, and they're like smiling when I just said that. But it's like this just breaking free energy, and it's like they're wanting to like open themselves up again. They're wanting to connect again. They're wanting to have like healthier relationships and truly connect with people. And it feels like they've been kind of holding themselves back based on the way they've been treated, the way they've been raised, the way they've been kind of conditioned, and things that people have done to them where they kind of stop themselves from being who they actually were. And I'm getting this message, and I had a conversation with somebody at the shop, a masculine today. I had a conversation with somebody at the shop today about this. There's a difference between And this is not just for masculines, this is for people in general. There's a difference between what we know and what we feel. What we know is our usually human logical mind, where, you know, we can know something is not good for us. And we can, you know, at a logical level know like what somebody does has nothing to do with who we are. It has nothing to do with our values, shit like that. But internally, our inner child can feel like, why didn't this person love me? Why didn't this person choose me? Why wasn't I enough? And all of this. And so what we know and what we feel are not always the same thing. They're not always in alignment. And it's kind of trying to bring balance and awareness to these things. I forgot what this had to do with the message, but it came back in, so I felt like I want to share it. It's like, you can know, you know, that like the reason like your parent didn't give you what you needed as a kid is because they were emotionally immature, they're, you know, fucking disconnected, whatever it is with them. You can know that, but also you can feel like, I deserve better. Like, I still want their validation. I still want their love. I still want their nurturing energy. I still want their affection. But at a logical level, you can know this is never going to happen. And I know this, and that's okay. But we shouldn't dismiss our internal feelings. We shouldn't dismiss the fact that it's completely valid to still want that from our parent. It's still valid to want their love, to want them to show up for us. It's still valid that it makes us feel like shit when we, you know, see other people having the type of parents and families that we desired. And it can make us jealous. It can make us feel insecure. It can make us feel like we didn't do enough, or we weren't enough, or there was something wrong with us, or whatever it is. And both of those things can coexist. But a lot of times we'll tell ourselves, you know, shit that's just not fully accurate. And we'll say, well, it's because it's because of this. And like, no, I don't really care. Understanding and, you know, empathizing with yourself is great, but it's going within and feeling those emotions and giving them validity and giving them, like, showing you that it's normal to feel these things and it's acceptable to feel these things, and that's okay. And like, I do this with myself where it's like, look, like, no, I know this isn't great, and I know that this has nothing to do with me, but also I do feel bad. And like, it does suck. And even though I know I'm not going to get it, I still want it. And like, that's totally okay. And it's also understandable why I want that. And like, having those conversations and validating myself and connecting the two, because they really are connected. But when we're just using the logical mind, you know, we're not really like feeling all the emotions, and we're kind of pushing those down. So for whoever needs that, but it feels like a lot of the masculines, like, there's going to be some type of connection with that, but that's not just for masculines, that's for the feminines too. And I get this with this rebel energy, this breaking free of just all this family shit. I just get so much family energy, like with the masculine, like just parent issues, you know, seeing their parent relationship, even like some of their parents' friendship. It just feels like this energy, like this, not true. Like, the energy I get the masculine's feeling is like just not authentic, not true. It's just surface level bullshit. We kind of just go with the flow. We don't try to rock the boat. Like, we just kind of deal with everything at a surface level, and there's no deep connection. There's no, you know, true showing up. There's no authenticity. And so that's kind of what he's learned, and he's unlearning this conditioning. And learning how to like truly connect to his emotions and feelings and to himself. Not just like, I feel sad, actually feeling the emotion in his body and like connecting to that, because you can know something hurts you, but when you're not actually feeling the emotion in your body and you're disassociating from it, you're not allowing the energy to flow out. So that's what that feels like. And I wanted to pull from the third deck. I kind of wanted to pull from the angel answers, but I picked the decks that were kind of calling to me. Archangel one is 2, but I don't really want to do a long reading because I got a lot of fucking energy shit going on, just a lot of shit going on. I feel like this is going to be a positive message for the feminines. Hi, baby. All right, this is for the feminines. We're going to scratch the chair again. Cool. She already fucking scratched up the chair, so might as well just let her. She doesn't have like 1,000 scratching pads and like 1,000,000 toys. Literally like a toddler. Hi. All right, so this is for the feminine. Mountain, intention. The Cedar Tree Wisdom fell out. If you saw the 2 cards that fell out, this was one of the cards that fell out. It kind of just fell out a little bit. instead of sticking it back in and waiting for it to come out, which I'm sure is what's going to happen. And then this is the feminine one. Fire, intensity, snake shedding. What are you getting into? What are you getting into? Hi. Okay, we got mountain intention, snake shedding, fire intensity. Oh, she's just sitting here. Cedar tree, wisdom. So this one, it came through pretty strong, like a lot of spirit guides, spirit energy, angel energy, like spiritual energy. We'll just say it like that. Is you're helping heal it, but you're also, the feminine is also receiving a lot of it. And it might not come in the way that you're thinking it is, but it's coming in. Hey, stop. Stop. Stop fucking with stuff. Sage, stop. Jesus Christ, this fucking cat. Sorry. Hold on. Wait, let me put her in the room. Come on. Come on. Or are you gonna get down? Are you gonna be good? Okay, then we're not gonna put you in the room. You're just gonna be good. You're just gonna be good. You're just gonna be good. Like you're getting a lot of like coding and messages from your spiritual team. And it's gonna help you with kind of grounding things. It feels like things are very unclear to the feminine right now, but you're going to get clarity. Like it's going to start kind of coming in and you're going to start understanding it more. She just like loves it. She just sits here. She doesn't even try to like fight. She just loves the damn intention. Yeah, I mean, the snake shedding card is literally the same thing as that sacrifice letting go card. It's like you're working towards something, and as you're working toward it, it's like most of you guys already know what you're working toward. The feminines already kind of know what they're working toward. They might not see the end goal. Like the masculine feels like he sees the end goal. The feminine, it's more so like an idea type thing, and like the full picture is not, hi, you need a kiss? Not really there yet or whatever. But it's like she has an intention. With this fire intensity, it feels like I get like a few different energies. I get like some of you are gonna really come into this passion and this excitement energy like after you're done with this cycle. Oh my God, look at her. And then for some of you, it feels like you guys feel like you just like, it's like fire after fire, storm after storm, and like there's nothing you can do. Like you can't put it out. It just feels like it's like one thing after the next is after the next. It's just like all these intense things kind of happening. Give me a kiss. Can I shuffle for the masculines, or are you going to start doing shit? I shouldn't even ask the question. Don't sit. I will put you in the... I guess all I need to do is get up and she'll stop. Good to know. Okay, for the masculines, I just saw the lotus flower, but it didn't come out. No. Yeah? Okay. Okay, for the masculines, we got sequoia tree balance, tobacco, reciprocity, and cloud imagination. They're having me put the cloud card to the side. So for the masculine, it feels like there's a lot of like things they're kind of juggling. Feels like things are a little bit kind of all over the place and not really like balanced. They feel a little bit more internally balanced, maybe emotional, but more internally balanced. But it feels like they're trying to bring balance to their life and kind of set things in action to make things a little bit easier, or start like doing schedules or doing like the word is like there, I just can't think of it, like routines. There you go. Thank you. Routines. Doing routines. It also feels like they're starting to be more mindful of what they're putting their energy into and who they're putting their energy to, and trying to do things that actually bring them what they want. And also it feels like some of them are starting to see relationships where they're putting effort or energy into them, where they're holding on to relationships and people and situations that are draining or that are not really reciprocated. It also feels like there's a shadow element with them there, because what they're getting mad at other people about, they're also doing to the people that are showing up for them. It's like they might have like a person that shows up for them, but they're not really treating them in the best way. And then the people who aren't showing up for them, they're like giving all their energy and effort and attention. And they're basically the person or people that are showing up for them, they're basically treating the way the friends they don't want to treat them like that the same way, if that makes sense. So, like where somebody's not reciprocating it, it's like they're going to start seeing where they're investing their energy into people that aren't necessarily the best. And it's not just people, it's also situations too, where there might be some like, they're saying the word trends, but it's not just trends. It's, where they're putting their time into stuff that isn't really fulfilling, and rewarding. So they're going to start seeing like where they have like energy drainage, or where they're not really getting stuff back. Like they're just putting in and putting in and putting in, and there's no return on investment for them, that type of shit. But it feels like relationships with people, like friendships and whatever relationships. And it also feels like just activities that they're doing, things that they're doing where it's making them actually feel like shame or feel bad or feel not good. With this Cloud Imagination card, oh my God, I got so much cat hair on my face now. It's really interesting. This energy I'm getting is very weird. I don't even know how to explain it. I've never really felt this before. It's like this, let me try to figure it out because I've never really felt this before. It's almost like they're sticking, like, I know this sounds weird. I'm trying to explain it the best way I can. It's like, okay, like on the ground, they know kind of what I need to do. They know how to move forward and all this shit. And it feels like they're living in the clouds. It's kind of this, I don't know how to explain it. It's very fucking weird. It's like they're sticking their head above the clouds so they can't see the ground. So they don't have to necessarily acknowledge or face certain things. It's almost like an avoidance, but like an intentional avoidance. Like they know they're avoiding it. So they're trying to like, almost like, it's almost like the cloud is like surface level shit, or it's stuff that's like distracting. Yeah. Like surface level shit or distracting, or just really just shit that doesn't matter. And they know it doesn't. And it's like they're still doing it anyway. And it's like at the surface, like on the ground, it's like that's the deeper shit. Like that's the feelings and connection and depth and truth. And it's like it's not that they're ignoring it, but they're kind of ignoring it. It's like they keep trying to focus on stupid shit. And it feels like there's a fear there. It feels like there's this fear of letting go of this old, here, I'll throw it for you. Like letting go of this old version of them, because they know when they leave the clouds, when they leave, you know, all that stuff, they might have to change their patterns. They might have to change the people. They might change their careers and their belief systems and their values and all this stuff. And it's like, there's some resistance energy. It feels like they're moving forward a little bit, but it also feels like there's some resistance to some of it in some way, like wind movements right here and lightning breakthrough. It feels like there's, oh shit, hold on, I just got like a really bad jab in my side. Jesus Christ. It's like they're not fully wanting to like let go and free themselves for whatever reason it is for them intentionally. The wind movement card kind of fell out as I grabbed the deck. Well, it stayed out as I grabbed the deck upside down. And the card underneath it is lightning breakthrough. it just feels like, even though like it's weird because it's like this weird energy, because it's like they're moving forward, they're knowing what they're needing to do, but then there's also this like resistance where they're not fully doing it, is what I think it is more than anything. Is like they're moving forward and doing stuff, but then it's like they're stopping themselves, like is what it feels like. They're stopping themselves at certain times and trying to ignore it or trying to distract or whatever. And it feels like something's gonna maybe happen that's gonna really, I don't know if it's something's gonna be taken for them, or something's gonna happen that is gonna really just make them like move forward out of this old, like, I don't know if it's gonna be just an awareness of something, or it's gonna be like some type of like tower moment, or it's gonna be something that is going to be significant. It doesn't necessarily mean, you know, bad or, you know, harmful or something like that, but it's going to be something that kind of shifts them in the way they need to be shifted. So for the feminine, we got, listen to your intuition. The situation will improve. So with the listen to your intuition, I kind of got this earlier when I was saying about like not totally trusting in what you know, and a lot of confusion and all this stuff. It's like your intuition is accurate. Your spiritual guidance is accurate. Like, don't stray from that, what you know. All the other stuff is just chaos and noise. That truth is that truth, and you know that. And kind of what they're saying is like the feminine's really kind of down and really low right now. Just very heavy, burdened, just everything's kind of weighing on her. But they're saying things will get better. Like things will get lighter. You're going to start feeling free. It might be different for everybody, but like you're going to get out of this situation and feel more free. All right, let's pull for the masculine and then let it to be. Yeah. It's the recovery card. I don't know. It didn't like, it kind of want to come out, but it didn't like fully come out. So I don't know. There you go. Success. What's that? Okay. No need to worry on the bottom and be assertive for the masculine. It just like what they're kind of saying to me is like, be yourself and don't worry about it. Like the right people and situations will literally fall in your lap. It feels like the masculine feels like they need to be somebody they're not, or present themselves in a way that's not really authentic, or they need to say certain things or do certain things or whatever. And Spirit's like, no, you just be yourself. Like you don't need to work just because people told you needed to do certain things or handle things a certain way or be a certain way. Like, no. And when you shine in your light and you stand in your power, you lead other people to do the same, and especially other masculines, because a lot of them struggle with the same type of conditioning and fears and trauma. So you can be a light to them when you do it for you. Like, and you don't realize that maybe, you know, they don't tell you that you influence them or that you help them. Damn, she a little asshole. Maybe, hey. All right, we're going to go in the room. See if it works. Oh, it does. Come here. Stop being an ass. You want attention, just sit. And I'll give you attention. Jeez. No, come here. Yeah, it feels like the masculine, like they might not realize like that people like look up to them, or that people kind of see them in a certain way. They might not talk about it, but like when you are yourself, you naturally like influence people to like be themselves. So for the masculine, we also got ask for help from others and success. Why didn't you just lay with me? If you wanted to lay here, why didn't you just lay? I love you. You're so cute. This cat literally makes me so happy. It's like not even a joke. She's like literally just putting her head on my arm. Okay. So feels like the masculine's opening up more to the spiritual side, opening up more to their spiritual gifts. Like the divine masculines, like it feels like they're starting to feel more and starting to see more. It's like they already kind of knew more existed, but they're being more open to it, I guess, is kind of the way it feels. Like they're being more open to it. And it feels like just after a little bit of time, when certain shifts take place in their life, they're going to really open up to their gifts and their power. and they're going to be more connected and they're going to understand it. The masculine and feminine receive energy in a different way and they process it in a different way. The great thing about the divine masculine is when they're in their power, they can help other masculines kind of channel energy and shift it in certain ways, whereas the feminine does it in a different way. They're gonna, all I keep getting is they're gonna open like up to like some gifts, and they're gonna really just be this very bright light, and like things are just gonna work out for them the more that they come into their power and alignment and do things that are right for them and feel right for them, and that are like coming from heart center and truth, and do things like from a grounded, like practical place. It's all gonna work out. It just feels like it's like they're opening up to that side of them. Nope. It's like they're opening up to that side of themselves, but it definitely feels like, and they're saying this has to do with the clouds and the head type thing. It's like they're opening up to themselves, but it's like they want to keep going back to logic and they want to keep going back to what they know. Instead of, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I got what you guys are saying. So like okay, that makes sense why I couldn't understand the energy fully, because yeah, it's like let me figure out how to actually communicate this. Like when it comes in for me, it comes in sometimes as words and sometimes as energy. So when it comes in as energy, it's like I have to verbally figure out how to fucking communicate it. It's not always the easiest. Like, I don't even know. I can't even explain it. I'm just too exhausted to try to explain it. It's like they'll get spiritual guidance, they'll get spiritual messages, they'll get energy. And it's like, because their logical mind can't understand it, it's like they kind of not bury it, but they not even ignore it, because it's like they're intrigued by it. But then it's like they kind of make decisions based on logic. It's like they don't fully trust in it and go into it. Like, okay, so like, for example, like when I feel an energy of something, I go into the energy. So like to see what it is or what it means, and I go into it specifically, right? So with the masculines, it's like the energy comes in, they can feel it's not, theirs, they can feel spiritual energy. It feels different. Like if you feel energy, you can tell it's different. It just feels different. And not everybody feels it, and that's okay. But the masculines the group that I'm channeling does. And it's like they can feel it, but like they try to rationalize, they try to logically understand, they try to do that, and they kind of, it's not like they don't trust it, but like they don't trust it. They can't explain it, so it's like confusing to them. It's like, because they can't explain it, it confuses them, and it's like, well, I don't understand, so like we're just gonna not pretend like it doesn't exist. We're just not gonna really go into it. It's like, we're not going to totally ignore it. We're going to, recognize it's there, but like, we're not going to do anything about it. Basically, it's almost like you have like, something sitting in your fucking house, and it's like, I recognize it's there, but I don't know what to do about it. So like, I'm going to just see it's there, but like, I'm going to put like a sheet over it, and just this way I don't have to keep being reminded of it and looking at it, because it feels like there's some type of fear there of actually opening themselves up and standing in their light and standing in their power, and they're not used to it, and they're not used to coming from that energetic spiritual side, and it doesn't feel like they're struggling. It feels like there's going to definitely be some type of, this feels like very much with that head in the clouds energy I was talking about. This feels very related to that. There's going to be something something that's going to happen, that's going to transpire, and it's just going to click. Like, it's just going to click, and then all of this is just going to make total sense to them. So I don't know, really interesting message. But anyway, yeah, I hope that this helped you guys, and I hope you guys all have an awesome night.